Hello, welcome to Crime Scene Knits 2026. Welcome. If there's anybody still out there, my name is Heather. I am the Crime Scene Knitter, and this is my knitting podcast YouTube show. Welcome. It's been a long time since I've last filmed, and I feel like I do say that every time now because it is always a long period of time in between episodes. Knitting is slow, so that's how that works. Today, I just wanted to go over the projects I have on the hook and on the needles. I did just finish a marathon of making for Christmas, which I think a lot of us have done. So that's finished, and all of the projects that I worked on for gifts are posted up on my Instagram. So if you care to go look, you can go look. I know that there is a way for me to edit photos of those projects into this. I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like it. I'm not going to be doing any editing for this other than tacking my title pages on the front and the back and putting some music in. Because if I try to edit any more than that, I will never upload this. Case in point, I have 2 episodes that I filmed last year that are sat in limbo because I have to edit them, and I just really don't want to. So there is that. For anyone who is new, I just make stuff and I talk about it here. I buy yarn, I buy tools, the trade from time to time. Every now and again I will attempt a new craft, and I just talk about my making and my adventures in craft here on YouTube. So I'm glad that you're here, and if you're a returner, welcome back. I'm so glad to see you guys. So let's get started with what I am wearing, because I think it's been long enough that perhaps if you've been here before you forgot this sweater. This is my Feather and Fern. It's made by a very popular designer, and you know, I should remember who made this because I have a lot of patterns by this person. This was actually my very first colorwork yoke pattern, so it turned out super well. It is one of my favorite sweaters. I made it in Ms. Babs yarn, her Yowza DK, which is one of my very favoriteest bases ever, and it's worn beautifully. It has pilled over the years. I've had this for years, but despite that, and you know, the underarm is always where it gets worse. It's so comfortable, it's so soft, it's held its shape so well. I think I've washed it once or twice. It's really beautiful yarn. So anyways, that's what I have on. Now we shall begin with my active projects, and I'm going to start with the most interesting. I am knitting and have just picked back up the Rivendell pullover by Sari Nordland. I've been working on this since the summertime, and I got sort of distracted because I needed to start doing Christmas making. But now I'm back at it, and I have a finished body, and I have picked up for the sleeves. So here's the body, if I can get it, there we go. Okay, here's the body. It's gorgeous. It's a fade. I had a fade set from Yarn Cafe Creations that I'd been sitting on forever. I mean, like for years, like maybe 2 or 3 years. And it is so delicious, this yarn. Like I cannot describe to you how much I love it, and I should order more from her because this yarn was her previous bases, one of her bases that she discontinued. So you can't get this anymore. These colors were a one-off. The very top colorway is actually a different dyer. It's more of a yellow toned color, and I used that to reach the yardage that I was going to need for the sweater. Held double because it was a sock weight, and I think it just turned out really lovely. So anyways, I've literally done 1 row on one sleeve. My little froggy stitch stoppers I got at Fiberfest last year. So I've done my 1 row. I have the correct number of stitches on my 1 row. I don't remember what size I made because it's been so long since I've done this. So I guessed, and I have to start the chart now. So I think what I'm going to do is work 5 to 10 rows in chart, And then I'm going to put this on a barber cord and try on to make sure that I like this, the drape of the sleeve. But that's where I'm at. Once I get going, I don't imagine the sleeves will take too terribly long. It does have like a cable down the sleeve, but the cable that we have on the front was actually really doable for me. So I'm confident that the sleeve cable will be the same way and I will do fine. Okay, so there's that. The only issue I foresee happening with that sweater is, I shouldn't have thrown it away so quickly. My apologies. I want to do, so there's two kinds of finishing that you can do for the neckline. You can either do an I-cord, which is kind of just a little bit more knitting. We all know what an I-cord is. Or you can do ribbing that kind of extends in towards the neck. I want to do the ribbing. The problem is that this top color, I do not have that much of. I have maybe, I want to say 15 grams. So I am also confident that I do not have enough to complete the ribbing in that colorway. So at some point I'm going to have to find something that is off yellow, off white, something that would look a bit lighter than this to sort of finish the sweater with. Worst case scenario, I will have to buy a new color. But that is a problem for another day. So that's that sweater. And my cat is crying. Hold on. Everybody hold on. Did you want to come in? No. Okay. Nope. She didn't actually want anything. She just wanted to be heard. Okay. So that's what I'm working on. The other projects... Oh, here we go. The other projects I'm working on are not particularly flamboyant, I guess, exciting. They're just little projects. I guess one of them is kind of exciting. This is just a home goods project that I've been working on. I've been working on this one for a while now. It's just with Big Twist yarn. It's acrylic. It was from Joann's. May she rest in peace. And I just wanted to make a table runner for our table. So I've got a garter stitch border on the ends of this, and it's just straight stockinette outside of that. My vision for this, we have a really long table because we entertain quite a bit. So my vision is to make a table runner that extends the entire length of the table, comes and hangs down off the end for a little bit. And then I want to crochet carnivorous plants and put them on the ends to make it, you know, carnivorous. So that is my plan for that. I have enough yarn to complete the table runner. I also wanted a set of table mats, I guess, placemats. I don't know if I have enough to do that. We'll see. We will find out. But that's another project that I'm working on. My other project that I'm working on currently right now is actually cosplay, which I have dabbled in very, very briefly, a small amount of it during COVID when we were all sort of bored and looking for things to do. I never made, I did make one full cosplay. It was a, not an individual, what's it? I made up the character. It wasn't a real character. This cosplay is going to be Marcel from Delicious in Dungeon. It is a Netflix sort of anime show, and it is very, very sweet and wholesome thus far. So I like it. I think it's very nice. And so Marcel, she has a blue capelet, poncho type thing with this sort of a border, and then it has a hood and a red ribbon to secure it at the front. So doesn't look great with this outfit because this isn't her outfit, but I do have a blue linen dress that sort of matches what her dress looks like. And then my plan is to finish this. I'm doing the hood right now. This is more Big Twist yarn that I had in my stash. I was kind of looking for something to do with it. So I'll make the hood. I have some PVC pipe that I was going to use for her staff. I have some air dry modeling clay. What else does she have? She's got bloomers, technically. Like, she's got white bloomers that sort of extend below the bottom length of her skirt. I don't know if I'm going to do the bloomers because the dress I have kind of goes almost all the way to the floor, and that would be, I don't know. I think it would get hot because I'd probably wear this spring, summertime, maybe a Ren Fair outfit, and it would be hot. So she may not get bloomers, but the rest of it I will put together. So yeah, working on that. The other fun thing, I just dropped some of it. Oh. So I'm working on a plush, a decorative plush, I guess, for myself. I like Pokemon, and I am making a Pokemon. I'm missing, oh, there's the other fluff. Oh. It's not professionally produced, in case anybody couldn't tell. But I'm making Jumpluff. I'm going to have to hold it like this. Okay, so this is what I have done so far. I have the body, and I have the top fluff and the two side fluffs. I'm actually really excited for this one. This one I had to set aside. I was working on this right up until before I started my Christmas makes, and I was so sad because this fluffy yarn, I just bought it from Michael's craft store. It's perfect. If you don't know what Jumpluff is, it's a Pokemon, and it's like a cotton or a dandelion themed Pokemon. So it's got big fluffy poofs all over its body, and it kind of just floats in the wind, and it's not a very strong Pokemon, I guess, but it's very, very cute. So I'm making one of those. I need to do the facial features. The eyes need to be crocheted and embroidered. It needs little feet, and I think that's it. Maybe a little mouth I might do, but it's close. I've got most of the work done. I just have to assemble. So hopefully I'll have a Jumpluff to show you, a completed one, next time I film. Okay, there's Jumpluff. So that is sort of an unfinished object, but not actively being worked on right this second. The other one that I have is my tale as old as time, my collection of scarves. These are Lion Brand mandalas. I have a collection of. You can see some of them in the background there. That truly, deeply is the tiniest tip of the iceberg because I have every single color in Lion Brand mandala that they have ever made, even the limited edition releases. My husband has asked me to please stop collecting them because they are all over our walls in the living room. That's the most recent one. I think that colorway is called Loch Ness. I'm always checking the website to make sure they haven't released any more on me. I'm kind of hoping they're done because I am a little bit done. But I've always got one of those working. I have 2 more left after that one, and then I think my collection is complete. So yeah, that's my popcorn project. And that also I haven't touched. I haven't touched it in a while. I want to finish either my hood or my table runner before I go and grab another project like that. Okay, so I have the Basket of Doom, which is the basket full of abandoned projects that I feel I really need to address at some point. So first thing in the basket is my Guy Fieri flame sweater. And I don't know if I want it anymore, if I'm being honest. It's been so long and it is so annoying to make that I don't know, but I've got a whole back done. I may carry on. We may do. We'll see. I've got all the yarn for it, and I would really love to have my project bag back, so I don't know. Maybe I'll hold on to that one for a minute. Okay, we're back. Battery died, and charged a new one. So let's carry on with my Doom basket. I suppose I should show you. This lovely beastie is full of all of my abandoned and neglected UFOs or unfinished objects. We've just gone over my Guy Fieri Flames sweater that I have done an entire panel for. I should finish this. I I just don't know if I want it anymore. I don't know. I'm going to marinate on it. I'm going to meditate on that. Next project. This was one that I swatched for but didn't actually ever start. This is a Waiting for Rain by Sylvia McFadden. I absolutely violently adore that pattern. And I found this really beautiful, beautiful slub yarn, I suppose. This, I want to say this is a Chick That Knits yarn. I may have the ball band lying around somewhere. The issue is that I wanted it to be bigger, chunkier than it was intended to be. And so I never really got past the swatch stage. So I think I will dismantle that and reclaim my project bag. This is one of my very, very favoriteest project bags. I think this is Amelia X Joy project bag. Let's see. Tag, it doesn't say. I don't know. I don't have a tag on this one, but this is just beautiful. I feel like a fairy toting this around. So, okay, so that one can go. Thinking about the flame sweater. What's next? What's this? Oh, another Pokemon. So I was working on using up my velvet yarn, and I had a color that I thought would look really good as a polywhirl. And obviously I've gotten bored with that and just left it, abandoned it. So I need to revisit that because I would like to have a polywhirl. And I found, look, my stitch marker. I've been looking for that one. He's been missing many moons. Okay. Yeah, I think I just have pieces of this. I was experimenting. I don't have a pattern for this. Oh, and this, this is a funny bag. So someone got me this for my birthday, I think, and it says I'm a naughty, naughty hooker, but it's knitting needles in the photo. So if you know, you know. That's very, very funny. I keep it for the irony. So, next. What do I have next? Oh, yes. I've made a portion of a witch's hat that I didn't like. I don't know what to do with this little nub. I'll find something to do with that, but I will be taking that apart as best as I can and reclaiming my project bag, which is this neat sort of leather and canvas water bottle bag, which I do love this. I need to use this more as like a bag. What else? Oh, and this, the piece de resistance. My mushroom tote is holding some of this. It's exploded all over the bottom of the basket, but this is pieces of my Soot Sprites cardigan. It's like a long, almost like a duster length. And I need to get back into this. I need to do this because I have a whole clog of yarn for it still in my shelves, and I have made so many squares. This is full of squares, and I have just so many. So I have to finish that one. And then I've thrown a hat that I made in here. I love this yarn. It's a really, really cute floppy hat, and I wanted to, it doesn't fit super well because I've got a hair tie in, but I wanted to make the depth of the body of the hat a little bit shorter so that it sat a little higher on my brow, which means I got to rip back, which means I got to find where I've woven in my end, which I think is right here. But yeah, there's no way I'm getting rid of this. I love, love, love this yarn. I would buy a sweater's quantity of it if they sold it again. This, I follow them on Instagram. I think it's Stitchwood, Camp Stitchwood, something like that. They do a lot of really, really fun, like almost 80s inspired neon boucle yarns, which I've become quite enamored with. No clue when I'm going to get to that. I have no plans. I don't know. I may just give up on it and leave it the way it is. So yeah, okay, that's it. That is my entire doom pile. It is much smaller than it has been in recent years, which I think is good. But yeah, hopefully at my next check-in, I have a couple of these projects completed. And hopefully next time you guys see me, I have a sweater. If I can just power through those sleeves, I have faith in me, so I think I can do it. We'll find out. Particularly if I take another, 3-4 months off in between filming, I feel like I can manage this. So yeah, next episode will be sometime. I won't say I'm going to have a schedule this year because I don't want to lie. But I do think I want to kind of get back into filming and maybe sharing my thoughts a little bit more. So yeah, okay. I think we're at a good ending point. I hope you all had a really wonderful, crafty, and delightful holiday season. Very happy New Year, and I will see you all on the next one. Okay, bye.